What would you do if your best friend suddenly pulled a gun and killed someone in front of you, then forced you to help them escape? Tonight, in this episode, we're diving into a shocking true story of loyalty, fear, and survival that will make you question how far you'd go to stay alive. On the early morning of November 26, 2021, 5 friends were gathered in a garage in Scarborough's Dean Park area, Blacktop Drive near Shepherd Avenue East and Meadowvale Road, enjoying a casual night of catching up and sharing drinks. Among them were Zachary Cust, Malcom Ellis, Jovane Watson, Jovane, and Tristan Liu. Everything seemed normal and friendly until, without any warning or provocation, Zachary Cust pulled out a gun and shot Malcom Ellis in the head, killing him instantly. The shock and horror of the moment were overwhelming. Cust, still holding the gun, immediately ordered Jovane Watson, who had been standing just feet away, to drive him away from the scene. At first, Watson was frozen in shock, unsure of what to do. Cust repeated his command, waving the gun at him. The other friends backed off with their hands raised, fearful for their own safety. Caught in the chaos and terrified for his life, Watson ran out of the house but heard Cust shouting aggressively for him to get in the car. With no safe option and fearing that Cust might shoot him if he disobeyed, Watson hesitated but ultimately got behind the wheel. Cust sat beside him, the gun resting on his lap as he directed Watson where to drive. They first headed toward the highway and later to an apartment building in Mississauga, where Cust left the car and secured the gun in a bag before walking into the building. Watson then drove home, shaken and confused by the terrifying ordeal he had just witnessed. In court, Watson faced a charge of accessory after the fact to murder for driving Cust away from the scene. The key question was whether Watson had acted under duress. If he genuinely feared for his life when obeying Cust's commands. Watson testified that after witnessing Cust shoot their mutual friend, he feared Cust would shoot him too if he did not comply. The Crown acknowledged there was some basis to this defense but argued Watson, being friends with Cust, should not have reasonably believed he was in danger. The trial revealed conflicting accounts from the 3 main witnesses. Jovane testified that Cust pointed the gun and ordered Watson to leave, while Tristan Liu struggled to recall details and initially denied recognizing Cust or seeing a gun. Watson's account was one of fear and confusion. He described seeing Cust wave the gun and forcefully tell him to drive away. The judge weighed these testimonies carefully, recognizing the trauma and chaos of the moment. Ultimately, the court found that Cust's brutal and sudden murder of Ellis minutes earlier gave Watson every reason to fear for his life. Even without an explicit verbal threat, Cust's actions, holding the gun and ordering Watson, constituted an implicit threat serious enough to cause fear. The judge also noted that Watson had no safe way to escape. Staying inside the house risked Cust breaking in or shooting him, and running away could have provoked deadly violence. The Crown failed to disprove beyond a reasonable doubt that Watson acted under duress. In the days following the shooting, Watson was shaken and scared. After speaking with his brother, he drove to a home in Bowmanville where he stayed for several days. Then, on November 28, 2021, Zachary Cust was shot and killed at the Lexington Hotel in Windsor. Watson heard about the killing from a friend and became even more frightened for his own safety. On November 30th, the police contacted Watson's mother, telling her he was wanted for first-degree murder and expressing concern for his safety. The next day, Watson voluntarily turned himself in with his mother and was charged with murder. During the investigation, the car Watson had driven away from the scene was found parked by the side of a road near the Bowmanville home. Initially, the Crown suggested that moving the car could indicate guilt, but later testimony revealed that Watson's brother had moved the car out of fear for their family's safety, without Watson's involvement. The Crown conceded this point, and the car's movement was no longer considered relevant to the case. The verdict was that Jovane Watson was not guilty of accessory after the fact to murder. The court accepted that he had acted under duress, fearing for his life after witnessing the sudden, savage killing of his friend and being threatened by Cust with a gun. This tragic story highlights the terrifying unpredictability of violence and the difficult choices individuals face when their lives are suddenly at risk. Watson's case raises important questions about fear, loyalty, and the limits of legal responsibility in moments of extreme danger. What would you have done if you were in his shoes?